weekend?
I did. I sure did. Quite eventful one.
Absolutely.
From the Friday you talked about, you know, you made mention of that on Friday.
Yeah.
The Saturday, the yesterday. It was quite an eventful one, but worth it.
Yeah.
But we are back here. We thank God.
I guess I missed some of the action though. some of the official action.
If you
know
think
what
so.
I mean? Yeah. Absolutely. Good morning to you, our distinguished viewers from all over the world. It's a beautiful Monday morning. It's also the last day of the month of June 2025. Wow, how time flies. 1st of June was just like yesterday. Now it's the last day of June, and of course, we're getting ready. We're rounding off the first half of the year. Wow. Thank you once again for joining us on Morning Spring. I wanted to say some things, but let me keep that for some other time. This is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Emeka Daniel is my name. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Also, always a pleasure for me to be here. Co-anchoring the show. And Femi already said it, what we do here every day, we look at the front pages of the newspapers, and then of course we go into critical discussions that shape our nation and our lives as a people, as Nigerians. Thank you once again for joining us. And Femi, over the weekend, something very important. There was a very striking event, of course, though not very pleasant, but of course it's an old man, the passing of Alhaji Aminu Dantata, Nigerian billionaire and philanthropist. He passed on Saturday, and of course we understand he will be buried today. They've gotten approval from Saudi government. He will be laid to rest in Medina today. Alhaji Aminu Dantata, Nigerian billionaire, quite an illustrious man, died at the age of 94. This man made his money so early. As far back as 1967, when very few Nigerians had owned cars, he was able to buy his first plane. Bought his first plane in 1967, sold it in 1968 the following year, and bought a jet worth about $2.5 million. So he's been in business for a long time. And the wealth didn't just start from him. His father, his own father, Alhaji Al-Hassan Dantata, was also very wealthy. We understand that as far back as 1929, Al-Hassan Dantata shocked everyone when Bank of West Africa opened a new branch in Kano by depositing 20 camel loads of silver coins. So the wealth has been in the family right from time.
Generational.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now, Aminu Dantata just passed at 94. I mean, quite an illustrious man. He's been a philanthropist. At some point, he was in politics. He had a stint in politics in the early 60s. He was in the House of Representatives. But again, he was also commissioner for planning in Kano. But majorly, he has been into business. And I've seen his house in Lagos, one of his houses in Banana Island. I remember, I think about 2 years ago, I was in Banana Island. Someone was pointing out his house to me. Nice place. He has a helipad on his roof and all that. It feels good to be wealthy, actually. It feels so good.
It is. Not just the feeling.
Absolutely.
It is good.
Yeah.
It doesn't just feel good.
But interestingly, shortly before he passed, he said he was no longer enjoying life. That he has seen it all. That most of his friends are gone. So he just wanted to go. Now he has passed at 94.
And 94, non-Nigerian then, you know, almost a centurion.
Absolutely.
You know, and that speaks to what the wise man ever, King Solomon, said in the Bible. After traversing with the length and breadth, his stint in different things, his wealth, his women, escapades, and all of those things. Then the day he returned and said, and I saw under the earth vanity.
All this vanity. Let me see the vanity to myself.
You are your way to your own vanity.
So Solomon is telling us his vanity. And let me see the vanity.
You are not just on your way to your vanity. You are in your vanity right now. And so by the time you are double this your age, whatever the age is now, you will possibly want to reckon with what he has said. Not saying not enjoying life is not good. You talked about the man that has passed, buying jets, selling it. I mean, buying a plane, selling it, getting a jet, being instrumental commercially, you know, the moved things, you know, on the social media, they called it doings. Absolutely. And all of those things. And the wealth in the Dantata family has been generational. And of course, spread to even to the cousins, cousin, and all of those things, and emerge from the Dangotes as well, because there's a line from that lineage as well, and it's good actually. he has done so much for himself. But that's somebody who is very old, who possibly you will be celebrating. If he's around here, it will be malus on malus on malus for the Owambes that we have.
A very big party.
Oh my goodness! You will have the real children have their own party. The grandchildren will have their party. The in-laws will have their party. It will be a week long because 94 is quite a long year. Now, that you might want to say on a good note. Another one that happened is the passing of a filmmaker, producer, Coyote Peters. Actually, and
in Canada, right?
Yeah, in Toronto. 49 years, like I say 50, but 49. Quite a trailblazer he was. And he worked more, behind the scene. Many persons, in fact, when you say Coyote Peters, that some person doesn't know, but when you talk about some of his works, you now realize, oh, he's the popular flatmate.
Absolutely.
He wrote, co-write.
I think he starred in
it as
well.
He wasn't part of it as a cameo appearances, actually. Not like the way Basket Mouth, the other guys were so pronounced. They made the movie together, Basket Mouth and Coyote Peters. And definitely when you go to Basket Mouth's IG page, flooded with Coyote, because they were not just colleagues, they were brothers.
Friends,
and many persons knew him for who he was. Quite a trailblazer in comedy, in filmmaking, in production, in acting, but somebody who enjoyed the backstage. Died at that age. You can't call that a ripe age.
No, still young. That's pretty
49.
young.
He has been in the industry as far back as his younger years. And so, but then 49 has died. 94. 94. 49.
We all
has
one
died.
day.
We will go in different forms, That will be the end of everybody. And what we speak after us is whatever we are able to do while we are here. Legacy. And who is telling the story. These are some of the issues. And that will be the end of everyone. Either you are the distinguished, most distinguished senator, commissioner, president, and one of those things. And by the way, towards the end of the weekend, is no more news. Abdullah Ganduje has packed his things and he has left as the chairman, national chairman of the APC, still in the APC.
Absolutely.
And that got many persons, shocked. Because there wasn't any talk.
It was abrupt.
Yeah, it was abrupt, sudden. It was nothing like the basketball we have always known, and all of those things. You just get to know that, oh, he has left.
But sources close to the presidency say he was actually removed, that he was given an ultimatum to leave, that he was supposed to leave today, Monday, that the president actually put pressure on him due to some issues which haven't come, into the open glare yet. That he had to leave latest today, but he decided he wasn't happy with it, so he decided to shock the president too by dropping.
These are sources, by the way, unnamed sources.
We call them reliable sources.
Well, as possibly by this week, more things will emerge, and we'll know why. There is a caretaker chairman already, 1 million or so, and then the real jostling for who will be the national chairman started. And I learned through that same sources that it has been zoned to the North Central. And so
it was originally, FM, it was originally zoned to the North Central, the position of APC national chairman. But when Tinubu came, he actually gave it to Ganduje as a favor, as compensation. Ganduje is from Northwest. So people have been kicking against it right from time that this position ideally should be for North Central. Now we have two people in the North Central. Their names have popped up. Someone like Alhaji Umar Tanko Al-Makuri, and of course, Senator Al-Makura, and Senator George Akume. But the problem with Al-Makura
is the SGF.
Akume is the current SGF, but his name has also popped up since he's also from North Central.
Live as the SGF
that's a question. But people are saying that for Al-Makura, he doesn't really have a relationship with the president. They are not close. So some, close observers are saying...
And whoever emerges will be, that person will have to enjoy the favor of Mr. President.
Absolutely.
Actually. You can't just emerge without the president liking your face. It's as easy as that, especially with what we are seeing. But then, we'll talk. And not just about that. There is something good that looks funny. But, not really funny, but many Nigerians are saying, is this a good news? That's the truth in Rivers. Actually,
really, I'm sincerely. If you ask me,
it's not about you. So I will ask you.
Yes.
I said if I ask you, I would rather
Rivers drama.
And the man, they are old hands now. Our enemies before. That's Organ is a boy. You know, that's where we say it in PG Nigeria, because the man has always said, Wike is my oga. You know, everything, Amaule, everybody held hands and spoke to the camera and said, yeah, everything is fine. And Rivers people, we thank the president for what he has done. Yesterday, the governor addressed his supporters and say, in that normal cliche now, that there is no price too much to pray for peace. And here we are.
It's a sacrifice they have to make.
My brother. And these are some of the things we are seeing. And many persons are calling on the president to say, please return this man. It doesn't have to be 6 months. Let the administrator go and enjoy his retirement somewhere else. And, you know, we wait to see. Isn't it good news? That's the truth. It's not more rivers of drama for now, at least as of today. These are some of the issues.
It is still a repackaged drama.
If it will be permanent, fingers are crossed. And we are not pessimists here. You know, we are wishing the Rivers good people well. We'll go on this quick break. When we return, we'll let you know what the front pages of our major newspapers look like. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. The first paper we'll look at today is the Daily Trust. Trusting what they have to say. PDP NEC meeting holds today. NWC members insist. All right. PDP NEC meeting holds today. NWC members insist with a rider that say no. It's expanded caucus session. Damagus Group. PDP NEC meeting holds today. NWC members insist no, it is expanded caucus session. Damagum's group. Nigerians are waiting to see what will become. Today's June 30, the day that was given by Mr. Umaru Damagum for an expanded session. So will it be a NEC meeting? Will it be an expanded NWC?
You know, Damagum said it's not a NEC meeting, but we have 11.
But it's supposed to be a NEC meeting.
Members. Yes.
Yeah, before the national secretaryship issue.
Well, Damagum wanted to postpone it. Damagum and the Wike camp, they wanted to postpone it, but we have 11 NWC members saying it has to be a NEC meeting today.
Yeah.
So let's see.
And they are calling it that expanded national caucus session, but the disarray. Before that word disarray now is becoming very popular, and somebody is enjoying it, taking pleasure somewhere. All right, will that be his fault? And it's not his fault actually. Now, below that, you have you know, the picture of shops being destroyed. You know, as a truck, you know, lost control at my 6, and you know, ran into those shops. The wreckage is what you are seeing right there. And we just hope there are no casualties. All right. And, you know, that's, you know, these trucks that carry gravel and granite. Yeah. Tipper, that's what we call it around here. Some of these articulated vehicles. Let's be more careful. And below that, 2027, Sean Sycophants. Dengiwa tells Tinubu. 2027, Sean Sycophants, Dangewa tells Tinubu. Now, Nigerians will tell Mr. President, for them, it's not about 2027. Sean Sycophants, now. We are not talking about 2027. In security, Sean Sycophants. In economy, Sean Sycophants. In health, every critical areas, the president should do away with sycophants. But the thing is, when people are in power, especially the highest level in the land, you can't do without them, those sycophants. Saying, Ranka Dede, Baba, on your mandate, some of them shall die, we shall stand, and all of those things. But then, that's why you need some persons that are not in power, you know, strong-willed people, like maybe 5 or 10 of them across the country.
Who can always tell you
that
the
you can
truth.
even go to without a convoy and tell you, tete-a-tete, what's going on? Everybody, every serious person needs that. Somebody that can look you in the face without minding the favor that can come from you and say, sir, we are not doing well. Every serious person. You don't have to be a president, even as a human being.
Yes.
Everybody needs that person don't care about you. I mean, don't care about your face and your feelings.
And tell you the truth the way it is.
And somebody is telling to beware of circumference in 2027. How about now? These are the issues.
That's the point.
Because the president, you know, in Benue, you see what happened when the authority had to say, sir, your earlier release, the way it come out shows you are being wrongly informed. It's not about communal clash, farmers headers, and all of those things. According to the authority, it was pure calculated genocide. And you should hear it from me. And he said it in that particular place as well. All right. Now, Ganduje's exit, CPC block, North Central push for APC chairmanship. Now, it's not just about the North Central, it's the CPC block. You know, because many persons believe, as far as Tinubu's administration and party politics is concerned in the APC, the ACN boys are the ones running the show. You know, there's the ACN boys, the Lagos camp.
Yeah.
So there's the CPC block, the Buhari block.
And he needs to reward them, I mean, for staying with him, because there were fears at some point that they will actually leave the party. So some people had to go to Buhari to beg him, tell your people not to
Because
leave.
one of the CPC guys was El-Rufai as well. You know, and all of those things. Now, the question again will be, so where is Nigeria's block? Nigeria People's Block.
That's where we belong. That's where journalists, and the media should belong to the people's
All right. Now, how Naira depreciation pushed Nigeria's debt to 149.39 trillion Naira? How Naira depreciation pushed Nigeria's debt to 149.39 trillion Naira and Dantata for burial in Saudi Arabia. Dantata for burial in Saudi Arabia. We wish the family all the best and the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss of the nonagenarian. That'll be all from the front page of the Daily Trust on Morning Spring for today.
And from the Daily Trust, we move to the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Let's check out the stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. PDP crisis. Factions hold parallel neck meetings. PDP crisis. Factions hold parallel neck meetings to talking about PDP as the People's Democratic Party and the crisis within the party. Today, 30th June is supposed to be their neck meeting, and some are saying, no, this is not a neck meeting. This is just an expanded caucus meeting. Let's see exactly what happens today. Talking about the PDP, they really need to put their house in order if they are going to stand any chance whatsoever in 2027. They have to fix their house right now. Away from the PDP and their drama, just below that we have electricity. No respite for 7 million consumers, despite 1.5 trillion naira spent on metering. Electricity, no respite for 7 million consumers, despite 1.5 trillion naira spent on metering. I'm talking about electricity supply in Nigeria, 1.5 trillion spent on metering, and still we're having so many challenges. Below that, we have some riders. Why metering initiatives have failed. Why metering initiatives have failed, according to experts. And below that, we have consumers are suffering. That's according to an advocacy group right there. You find that story on page 25 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And that'll be all from the front page of the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, from the Vanguard newspaper, let's see what the Punch have for us. The Punch newspaper, Hurricane Tinubu, interesting description there. Hurricane Tinubu, APC launches fresh moves to pull 5 governors. Hurricane Tinubu, APC launches fresh moves to pull 5 governors. Who will these governors be? Your guess is as good as mine. So definitely, when you're talking about pulling 5 governors, you can say those 5 governors are not APC governors. Because if the APC governors, they are with him already. So who would they be? And which party will suffer this particular?
Which one will suffer most?
All right, because how many do we have actually? Okay, apart from the PDP governors, you have Soludo of APGA, Apuga, the way they call it around there. LP with Peter Mba,
Soludo himself has even declared support for Tinubu in 2027 openly.
Well,
so I won't be
about the
surprised.
Labour Party. Which other party?
Alex Oti.
Yeah.
Labour Party.
Alex Oti, Labour Party, rather. Peter Bice of the PDP. The man in Kano, Abagida of the NNPP. Those are the other three governors that are not of the PDP. So, the Hurricane Tinubu that is already, moving around. But the thing is, and we are not sounding like this just because we want to just pick issues with whatever is happening with the president and his camp and the presidency and the way they are working is. So when will the Hurricane Tinubu sweep through the insecurity in Nigeria and the poverty? The hurricane, if there's anything that he can do is to sweep through. Let the hurricane pack, sweep all the criminals that are roaming free, in which some members of his party, a governor of his party, have been saying there are people running around here, roaming free, unabated, unhindered. It's not just that they are attacking. It's the fact that Baba Gana Zulu months ago said they are moving around without any disturbance, doing whatever they want to do.
So what's the job of the security agencies there?
Or the work of the Hurricane Tinubu in all of this, to sweep around whatever he needs to do, whoever he needs to give marching order. And marching order cannot be marching order without consequences. Absolutely. Everybody knows that. The moment you say you are going to do this, I'm going to support you. What do you need? Tell me, how long can it take? I'm giving you 3 months. If you don't deliver, you might not have this job again. And everybody around knows.
Absolutely.
Things will move.
Tell me, even in the same Benue state.
Pack these criminals, arrest them, and so what?
Even in the same Benue that he visited, crimes have increased.
Yeah.
Again, we've had repeated attacks. Just recently, I think over the weekend, some policemen were actually killed.
Yeah.
It was reported that 3 of them were killed by herdsmen and their rifles were seized.
Snatched away. And that's another danger.
What's going on? Benue,
lives have been lost.
Benue, with all the attention, with all the searchlight, being on Benue, this is still happening in Benue State. Of course, Peter Obi has called the presidential visit to Benue. What did he call it? There's a language he used for it. I'm trying to remember the language. He said it was just a political, something like that, just like a choreography that it didn't really make any sense. It didn't bring out any value. There's no value to it. That he actually did not visit Yellow-Water. That's a fact. He did not visit Yellow-Water, the scene.
The community that
exactly.
experienced the horror now because there were floods. That was what the president said. It was quoted. It wasn't quoted. I saw the video where he said rain and flood and all of those things. But he got the pictures and the videos. So make do of what you want with that information. Now, Wike versus Makinde. Tensions mount as PDP holds next meeting today. BOT summons emergency meeting ahead of disputed NEC. APC mocks PDP. Uh-oh. I think PDP should be mocking themselves. PDP should be mocking PDP. It's whatever it is right now. Says party is dead. The big guy said he takes pleasure in seeing them in disarray, but the party is saying they are DEAD right now. That was the party that ruled for 16 years, from 1999 to 2015. And since then, all right, that will be all from the Punch newspaper. But wait to see what comes out of the Wike versus Makinde. Will they have parallel meeting?
That's the point. Wike has told them, even Ayamu, that he should not honor any invitation and he shouldn't beg.
Who pays the piper, the team? Who do you think?
And so far, up till now, Samuel Ayamu still remains the national secretary recognized by INEC.
Arguably so. These are the issues.
According to INEC. And INEC is the umpire.
No, INEC only talked about the national secretary that they will support. Not that they mentioned Chris Anya, Mr. Anya's name, Senator Anya. By the way, he had his birthday at the weekend, 60th birthday. And of course, many persons were there. Bukola Saraki, Mr. Wike, and all of those guys. By the way, in River State as well, Wike buried one of his uncles in River State. And just who was by his side at the burial? The boy to the yoga.
But again, Femi, it doesn't really make any sense that in Nigeria, even the president, when he was trying to make peace, was like, make peace with your guy. So a governor, a sitting governor, is still someone's boy. Does it make any logical sense?
Politically speaking.
No, sincerely, as a people, let's be sincere. Does it make any logical sense that you're a governor, but everyone knows you're just someone's boy?
Politically speaking, everybody knows the process of his emergence. Actually, somebody picked him. Somebody took him on his shoulders. When the anti-corruption agencies were looking for him, he was with somebody, isn't it? So the person that did all of that for you to emerge, the thing is the way we do it around here, everybody have where their loyalty belongs. Even in academics, there are people you ride on their shoulder to emerge, tutoring you, telling you, write this paper, do that, do this course, and all of those things. So it's not like they owe your life, but then you know that whatever you become, you owe them that respect. But in Nigeria, you know everything is politics. When the going is good, is it just about that? I remember when Mr. Ododo, Usman Ododo of the APC, emerged as the governor. And before he swear, I think he said it as even he swearing, he told the people there, he told the workers, he told people at different fora, and he said, if I give you an order and Yaya Bello gives you an order, follow Yaya Bello. That's his, predecessor. He said that himself. When everything is, let me use it again in English, he's sweetening them. When the thing is good, the excitement is buzzing, the adrenaline is pumping. They have just emerged. Something they felt possibly could never be. And the going was good. The Babalaye will sit like this. And so the boy will say, sir, I owe you, man. Whatever happens. And even before they emerge, that's what he said. He said, if I'm talking and Yaya Bello is talking, follow him because he's the leader. And that was why the man was involved in the extraction drama that we saw when the FCC came for him and all of those things. And gun was being shot and all of those things. And these are some of the things we see. It's politically speaking.
Not looking good for the people.
The Oga was at that, this thing. And if the truth hadn't happened, it didn't happen rather. Yes, had not happened. That particular occasion of Governor Wike's uncle's burial will have been another place of throwing shots and everything. And then at the other end, you will see another event, Thanksgiving event. In Rivers State, Thanksgiving, no the end. They always have a Thanksgiving for surviving weekend, for surviving political enemy. And that place is always a place for musicians to gather. Very importantly as well, before we go on the break, is the fact that, Wike has his own band. The band,
Oh, yes, yeah, that sings.
And they have moved to Abuja right now.
And there's this funny song that they let me play for him. I'm trying to remember. Whenever he's speaking, they will just play the song, so we dance.
Everything it says, there is a song for that. And recently he promised them that you people you are doing well, I will increase your salary. And everybody, and another song emerged. Agreement now, agreement. It's always a delight to watch if you just want to be entertained. Absolutely. Actually, because those guys, who is paying them? Is he paying them as Mr. Wike? Or Barrister Wike rather, or he's paying them as a FCT governor because they were with him all to the journey in Port Harcourt and they have been lifted now in the Nigerian setting, moved to Abuja and they have been part of the 17 days of project and all of those things. But then where does this leave Nigeria? The issue in Rivers, the question I just have been asking and political watchers is, so where does this leave the people?
That's the question.
People that protested in support of Fubara, students, some NGOs, the NBA even took whatever.
Exactly.
Because they feel it's about the law and somebody has been unduly removed rather, and they will not be part of that. So they took away their compens and it generated so much noise at the time. But at the end of the day now, the supposed enemy and the enemies rather, all of them on the same line.
It's truly Fubara.
And they are holding hands and what we say maybe is a good news so that Rivers can move.
If truly Fubara...
But where does this leave the people?
Exactly. If truly Fubara was standing with the people, he would have resigned. At that point when he made that
So the
comment,
question is, was it really about the people?
It's not about the people. It's clear. Now it's all about his interest.
Is it about principle?
That's the
Obviously.
point. Because if you're saying you're making sacrifices for the people, how about those who made sacrifices to support you? Now, here's what happens, Femi. Here's what happens. Technically, everyone who is supporting Fubara, all of them put together are now Wike's boys.
Back to the camp.
That's it.
Back to the same camp. You remember the essay, New Media, hopefully we're having tomorrow one of these days. I said all of them were Wike's boys before. He said we worked for him. And, you know, when they had to now choose their allegiance, they chose to be
They
with
tried to break away, now they didn't succeed.
Everybody's back at the camp. Where your guy goes, you will go.
Oh, boy.
These are the issues. So the status quo ante.
Oh.
All right. It is so much to talk about. We are ready to go. We take this quick break. When we return, we will look into these issues. We are live, beamy, crisply clear, loudly, clearly on channel 190 on StarTimes DTT, channel 190 on StarTimes DTT on YouTube. Head on to our YouTube channel, the Western Spring TV. You get to see us, be part of what is happening. Comment, make your submission. You might be lucky that we get